sweet crafting friends. It is Tuesday and we have another fun unboxing and tutorial for you for our much awaited, much anticipated. I think you guys were waiting for this one more than you were waiting for the ornament maker one, which is super popular. But this is the one I kept getting asked about. And this is our Countdown to Christ Advent Ornament Maker Kit. So keep that in mind if you're like, I don't know if I should order now or not. If you want one, order at least now. If you need multiple, definitely order them now. Because our turnaround times now for holiday and getting stuff in, we are just up against the grain on it. And if last year was any indication, this one is going to fly out of here. So again, that's why we did the pre-orders. But I'm going to show you how easy this is. So let me show you some things that you're going to need that aren't in the kit. Okay, so when I did my samples, so I've got, I did 3 already. It's going to be very hard for you to tell on the camera. I did 1 with, because I tried to see what works best. Because you know me, I'm going to test everything, but I'm getting better at testing it before I go live so you don't have to go through all my stumbles. So I did 1 where I used this premium gilding paint. This takes forever and it's really stinky. It does turn out pretty, but for me, it just took way too long. So that is an option. That's the one I did on this one. So you can see that's how it turned out. Hand painted the whole thing, okay? That's an option. The other option, which I think I threw it away because I killed it, was I used what I usually use is my 18 karat gold pen, Sharpie, I think it's a Krylon pen. I used that one on this one. Again, it takes a lot of coloring. It kills your markers very fast. So after I did those 2, I was like, forget this. And I went to Home Depot and I grabbed this Rust-Oleum metallic. This is what I recommend doing. So for the rest of the ornaments, I just took them outside on some cardboard and I just rattle canned them. I did the front, let it sit for 30 minutes, flipped them over, did the back. This is how I recommend. Now, you could get this in any color. You could also hand paint them all. You could leave them natural. So when you get them, they're actually this wood, just the raw wood. You could paint them any color. It doesn't have to be the gold. This was just my vision when we were designing them. But I highly recommend rattle canning them just for ease, especially if it's something that you need to do a whole bunch. If it's a project for the kids and they want to paint each one, like have them paint each one. But I'm just giving you some options. But for me, what I ended up doing, it was just going with the rattle can. So these ones that I prepped only have, I just did, this covers really well. It is indoor-outdoor use. And it's kind of like, this one is designed for like metal. It's like a brassy. They do have like super shiny gold ones too, like glosses. That's not this one. I did link this exact one in the tutorial where this will be held. So if you want this exact color, it's linked in there when I do it. So I got this from my local Home Depot, but the link that I have in the tutorial is to it on Amazon. It was like $8, $9. I think it was cheaper on Amazon than I paid at Home Depot. So you're going to need your paint color. You're also going to need a sealer. So I use, again, any matte acrylic sealer will work. I just use Eileen's. This is what I have linked in the tutorial. You're not going to be able to tell very much, but these 2 are sealed and this one is not. And that's just so you don't have any like lifting up, but I don't even think, like looking at it, I can tell a little bit in the light that it's sealed. You don't have to seal exactly if you're, doing it with kids as a Thanksgiving thing and you don't have all the sealing stuff. You don't have to. But if you're keeping them for durability or gifting them or doing them for yourselves, especially just for durability, I would just seal them. So as you store them, you don't have any issues. We really needed to seal last year because all of the letters were individual. This year it's a whole big graphic. So, but it will keep it from getting like scratched, especially if you're storing them with a bunch of like those little metal hooks. Like the metal hook could scrape the design. So I would seal if you're going to steal them. If you're going to steal them, I would not steal them. I would seal them. But that's the one that I used for the sealant. The only other thing that you're going to need that's not in the kit is your sanding tool. So that could be a sanding block, fingernail file. It doesn't matter. Obviously, you're going to need some scissors, and that's it. So I'm going to show you how simple this is. Elizabeth says she absolutely loves this kit. Me too, Elizabeth. This was a huge favorite. So again, when I'm cutting out the designs, because they come with multiple days on a sheet. So the days will go like this. Just let me show you again, because I already cut this one. So this verse goes with this image. This verse goes with this image. So the ones on the top are up and down. The ones on the side are right and left. So that's how I cut them. So I'll usually go through and I'll cut them all out, or I'll cut a sheet at a time out, and then I'll just stack them. Now you can just rough cut these because we don't have to cut exactly around the design. We just need to separate the design. And I don't have my big good scissors today because Morgan is in there helping get the kits ready for I always get messed up what month for August. And we have some nice big thick rope that is going in the kits, and she's using my good scissors to cut those ropes. So I don't have the good ones today. I just have the minis. Mary says this kit is gorgeous. Thank you so much, Mary. It's literally one of our favorites. So what I'll do is I'll cut a whole sheet and then I'll just stack them up. So that way you know that you have the right verse with the right image. Because otherwise you're just going to have to choose which one you want to go with which image. Which again is totally fine. It's your kit. If you're like a different image with a different verse, you can go ahead and do that. Oh, it's all good. You can go ahead and do that. They just brought back my scissors. They heard me. These ones are great for detail, but when you're using these bigger sheets, it's not really the best. Okay, so let me show you how easy it is. So we're just going to take one of these already painted. Again, you don't have to paint them. You can leave them raw if you want. You can paint them any color you want. I think a black might be pretty. A bright purple. I know a lot of you ladies like the dark purples. Those would be pretty. You can literally take any of the colors that are in the designs. A yellow, a teal. It's completely up to you. So when we're ready to do it, we're just going to go ahead and separate the two. But we have this first right here so we don't lose it. And then if you haven't worked with rub-on transfers before, we're just going to peel the back off. So it has two layers. It has the protective top layer that the transfer is stuck to, and it has the back layer that's just protecting it so nothing gets stuck on here. So this is the sticky part. We don't want to touch the sticky part. So give yourself some room. That's why we rough cut it. We don't cut exactly around the design because we need some room to hold on to. Okay, after applying a bunch of these, I'm going to tell you what works best. So what I do is you're going to have, if you'll look on these ones, you're going to have the teeniest bit of gold or whatever your color is showing around the top here. So this is the area right here that we're going to focus on lining up, and the rest is just going to come off or fall off. So you could tell on this one, I pushed it a little higher and I didn't like how it looks. So I'm going to make sure I'm going to kind of come down a little lower on that one. Again, personal preference, but so what you're going to want to do is hold it up. We don't want it to stick on there until we're ready to stick. So use whatever. These ones are kind of nice because of the stained glass. A lot of them will have some type of center point here that you can line up with your center point here. So we're just going to get it on there, and I'm going to make it so that I can see a little bit of the ornament on either side at the top. And then just kind of pin it down somewhere with like your nails or whatever you can do until you get it like there. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to use my hands to rub it down just to get it stuck there. But from there, we're just going to take the transfer tool and we're going to just rub it on down. Now you're going to have the teeniest bit over the bottom here that's going to overhang. And I'll show you what we're going to do with that here in just a moment. So once we don't want to pull it before it's ready, but you're just going to make sure you get an edge down really well. I kind of like to use this end for that until we know it's sticking. And see, we can see it's sticking there. The design is sticking. We don't just rip it off, all right? We want to keep rubbing and pulling at the same time because it will release as it's ready. But especially if you're working with littles, just make sure they're kind of rubbing and pulling at the same time. And then when we get to the end, you'll see we have the teeniest bit of overhang. So that's where your sanding block is going to come in. And this is a really light sand, just enough to break it off. Like you can see, it's like peeling off. So any area that it's holding off or hanging over, we're just going to lightly sand it off. You're going to get this little piece and we just pull it off. Okay. And that just goes in the trash. The nice part about all of the well, it's supposed to go in the trash or it sticks to you. I'm gonna have a little pile here. All right, okay. The nice part about the stained glass is it's very forgiving. So because I did the gold, you know, if you're a little bit off to the right or left, it's not going to matter. Like, it's not going to be super obvious. So that's the other reason we went with kind of a busier pattern, to just have it so it gives you like a little bit of grace. So that is the front. We're going to flip it over. And again, we spray painted both sides. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're just going to pull it off. Don't touch anywhere where there's a design. And you're just going to line your number up with your center point there. And then you're just going to put these wherever you want. If you want it more to the center, if you want them all to the bottom, just kind of whatever you want. I just try and kind of center them with the number. Whoop, see, I didn't get it all the way down. I did notice with the rattle can, it also is a little bit more forgiving as far as it doesn't immediately grip to the wood. I can move it a little bit. So again, this right here is hanging off a little bit. We'll just sand it off. I just mainly focused on getting the number kind of lined up there. So we're just going to do the same thing. We're just going to rub them on down. Make sure that we get one side really well before we start lifting. Now again, I had mentioned there's like these little scatter sprinkles right here. So if you want them on there, just make sure you get each little individual sprinkle, because those are not one big graphic. They're kind of like glitter type things. But again, we're just going to rub and peel. Hi, Miss Debbie. Vicki said she uses tweezers to help hold it before laying it down. That's a great idea, Vicki. I love that tip. Especially for those of you that don't have nails, which I didn't have nails until I started doing these videos and got OCD about how my hands looked. Insider information. Things that you don't have to worry about if you're not doing live video all the time. So you can see we have this little overhang here. So we're just going to take it. And again, that's just part of the design. It's supposed to be like a fade. So it just fades out. So any part, if there's any of that hanging over, you just lightly sand it. Again, it is the lightest sand, like almost like a buffing. So, because I know some people say that they have sanded and then they sand their paint off. We don't want to sand off this beautiful gold on here. So we're just lightly, literally lightly dragging it. And that's it. It's like barely any pressure. And then that one is done. So you've got the front and the back. So with your cord, so I'm going to go ahead and just finish this one, and then I will do a couple more. But with the cord, what I used is 9 inches for the cord. It just depends on how long you want them. But I would just go through and cut them all so that you have all the same length. Before you do the cord, though, if you're sealing, at this point is when you're going to want to go out and seal them. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do the cord, because I can just take the cords back out. So there's a couple ways you could do them. You could just do them this way if you want this look where it just hangs like that. I did them where I did like the loop. So I put them through the back and then just looped it through. This cord's like pretty forgiving. So, I mean, it's pretty thick. So you could do it that way. Don't pull it all crazy tight. I mean, you could technically snap, and these are thick, but you could snap it off if you went all crazy. But you could just do it that way and then just tie your little knot here. You don't even have to use the cording that's included. You could do jute. And then I actually grabbed some of that gold yarn that I used for the tassels the other day. And I was going to do one in that and just see what it looks like, just because we're just playing around. So if you tie your knot and it looks like this, you just cut this extra so that it's even. I'm not going to worry about it too much because I'm going to take it back out so I can seal it. But that's our number 4. So then you just keep going. I just grab my little piles. Here, I'm going to switch to these. But that's literally how easy it is. I feel like we made them even easier than last year. And I think the whole having the words on a background is really going to help you guys this year, because that was the only issues we had. I think there was 4 we had to reship because letters, they were missing letters or letters came off. We do produce them in giant, like huge batches. So there can be instances where people would be missing like one word. It just didn't get onto the design. But this year we shouldn't have that problem because of having them on the background. So again, this is just how easy it is. So you just make sure it's down. Now, a question we got last year, I haven't got it yet, but I usually will have at some point. People will ask, can I just buy the transfers by themselves? And the answer is no. We do not sell this transfer set. It's the only transfer set that we don't sell individually. You can only get this transfer set in the full kit. So again, we're just going to seal, or we're just going to lightly sand. And I do the front and the back separately so that you're not catching the back design and then ripping it off on accident. So just do the front and the back when you're sanding separately. So there we have the front, and then so that's Mary, and then I accidentally grabbed that and it was already lifting, so we'll just go with it. And we'll just line up the 5. Again, I'll just try to get the 5 lined up and then the actual circle of the design lined up, centered as best I can. So I'm looking here, and then I'm just kind of looking how big this blob, I guess we'll call it, is, because they're generally the same size, but as you'll notice, some of the verses are longer and we needed more background space to put the verse on it. So the backgrounds are not all exactly the same size. This was a shorter verse, so it didn't need as big of a background. They're generally the same size, but they're not exactly the same size. So this one says, and Mary said, behold, the handmaid of the Lord, be it unto me according to thy word. And the angel departed from her. And that's from Luke 1:38. All of the verses are King James. And reason being, 1 is copyright. 2, that is the one that we get the most requests for. And so that's the one we go with. All right, and this just comes right off. And again, we just have a little bit of that fade over here. And so we'll rub that off. Again, I would seal it before you put the strings on. But for today, we're just going to try some different. So I've got some jute here, and then I've got some of this. I never pull the ribbon from some of this gold. It's like, what is this? Wool Ease Thick and Quick Lion brand, and it's just a cream yarn, like a thick cream yarn, and it has some gold in it. I got this at Walmart. So I'm just going to do 9 inches of this, and I'm going to use our beater tool. So anytime you have to stick like a thick yarn or fabric or anything through a smaller hole, that is what the beater tool is for. You can get these on our site. It's not included in the kit, but you can get it on our site. And then that just helps you get it through. So if you wanted a more, like a softer look or some more textures, you could do something like this. You could add charms and all kinds of things to this too. You could add glitter highlights. Like you can put stuff over the transfers. You can use Mod Podge to seal if that's what you have. So that would be a different look. You could use fabric as well. So that's a different idea. Debbie says, love that there's a back piece. I always like doing the back and front. Looks great idea. It's a great idea. Debbie, you and my husband all the time. When we first, you guys, we have cut so many of these when we were finalizing and getting this design, because the first time we did it, we had them all just engraved here. And then we realized, like, when you flip it over there, this part had no engraving. And so then we were like, oh no, we have to cut all the way through this. So then we had to figure out how to cut all the way through it without losing any of the parts. It was a whole learning experience. So we learned a ton. There's so many different variations of this ornament. I can't even tell you. We originally had a design on the top and the bottom, and then that wasn't going to work. Like, we know that everything that we release, there's like seriously 20 to 30 variations that we went through prior to whatever we landed on. So yeah, I've got all different kinds of these ornaments. And then the sizes, we had all the things. So again, we're just going to line it up. This one has a thing. You can see like most of them have like some kind of point or something here at the top that you can line up with. This one didn't per se, but this is going to be really forgiving. So as long as you get her straight. Again, little baby Jesus here, you know, there was a line right here we can line up with. So we tried to make it easy as possible, especially for the newbies, because we know we're going to have a lot of newbies this year. There was a lot of people that actually found us last year through this kit and the other ornament maker kits. So we just want everyone to have success making these and not to be frustrated. We wanted it to be easy for all levels, you know, especially beginners. That's how a lot of crafters find us, is beginner crafting. So though you can make it as complicated as you'd like for those of you that are more advanced, but we try to keep most of our kits beginner friendly, because it's not fun when you're trying to craft and you can't make it look like, you know, some fancy schmancy crafter. So that's kind of my goal with everything that we create. Sandra says the King James language is beautiful. I use another for my everyday reading, but I love the poetry of the King James. I love that. I love that. If you follow me for a minute, you know I have like multiple Bible versions, so I'm whipping them all out. Especially if I'm diving into a verse. I'm like, okay, I need to look at this from all angles. Like, I need 5 different translations. I think I have 4 Bibles. NIV, King James, New King James, and then the, 1611 King James. I have a lot. I do like the NIV study Bible, because the stuff at the bottom does help me sometimes if I'm not really understanding. So I would recommend, you know, doing them one at a time, just so you don't get confused on which one, the fronts and the backs. But if you're doing multiple, or you have multiple kids that are doing them, you can give them, you know, give them each a day to work on. But again, they make wonderful gifts. I think that's why people were ordering so many at a time. It was literally gifts. And then, like I mentioned, we had a lot of ladies last year that took these to their Thanksgivings, and they did them together as Thanksgiving crafts, either with the families or with the grandkids. And then they had them all done and ready to start counting down right after Thanksgiving. And so it was kind of just the perfect timing. We had wanted to release them earlier last year, for those of you that were with us. Last year we didn't have the laser, so the ornaments that we had for the kids, that was the holdup. We had kind of the same issues that we just had with the boxes for the ornament maker kits, but it was the wood cutouts, and it was a nightmare. So we didn't end up releasing these, I think, until the end of August last year. So this year we're way earlier, in hopes that if we do blow through everything, maybe we can get more in time. I can't promise it. So again, that's why we did the pre-order. So the pre-order goes on now through Friday. It says they'll ship early August. We have everything. We're going to start shipping them as soon as we get through the Christmas ones. So we're going to get the boxes in for the regular Advent one. We're going to get those all put together. And then we're going to, once we get those through, we will begin shipping these Advents. Because like I mentioned, we have everything for these. They're all ready to go. The ornaments are shrink wrapped. We're good to go on these. So you will not be waiting on these ones, that we have everything. We're just trying to get the original orders out first. Sandra says she has those ones and the ESV. Ooh, I haven't looked at the ESV. So here's how it would look. Here's how it would look if you did the jute. So again, for those of you that joined late, I did try different painting. So this painting is the Gilded Stinky Classic Gold paint where I hand painted everything. Took forever. I was like, no, we're not doing that. Then I went with my, I think I still have it in my trash here. I don't know how far it is. My Krylon 18 karat gold leafing pen. I did that with this one. You can see like the pen was dying here. And so it just took a lot of pen to do the whole thing. I think actually I did part of it. And then I was like, my pen was dying. So I said, forget it. And I did the rest in the gilding paint. And then after that, I was like, we're not doing this. And that's when I went to Home Depot and I got the Rust-Oleum in this metallic. So it's almost like a, I wouldn't even say copper because it's not that orange. It's like the gold, but like the gold brass color. Again, when this video is done and we edit it and I post it on the tutorial, the links for that gold is in there to get it on Amazon. And so from there, I just rattle canned them all. I just took them all out and I sprayed painted the front and the back, just one light coat. And you can see just from the spraying it, I wasn't really intentional about getting like all of the edges. So full transparency here. You can see some of the edges are super gold. Some of them are dark. So if you want the edges gold, just make sure when you're spraying, you kind of go around all the different angles. I wasn't too concerned about it. Again, it looks like I did better on one side than the other. And it could have been the way the breeze was blowing when I sprayed them. But I just did one coat and it was just a good coat. So I didn't have to do duplicate coats. Let them sit for about 30 minutes, flipped them over, did the back, let them sit for 30, 40 minutes, and then brought them inside and they were ready to go. Now, if you are in somewhere that is humid, because I am here in Arizona, it is hot as heck. So it was like 109 yesterday. So I only needed 30 minutes. If you're somewhere that is humid, these have to be completely dry and cured before you put the transfer. The transfer will not stick to wet paint. It will lift, it will rip, it will not work. So they have to be completely 100% dry. To the point where if I was somewhere humid, I can't even talk today. I would spray them and I'd probably let them sit overnight. Or if you're hand painting, you might be able to go through and hand paint and then come back through and start on the first one. But I will just tell you, please make sure everything is completely dry or you will have issues. Like that is the number one thing. The surface has to be completely dry, completely cured before you place the transfers on it. So whatever it says on the back of the can, I would do that. Because that's the only thing you're going to have an issue with is if your paint isn't dry. And we keep a few extra sets for defects. We don't have extra sets if you messed up and put it on wet paint. So please, please, please don't do that. Is there a different ad set? My Life Matters wants to know if there's a different Advent set. No, this is the Advent set for this year. It's the only one. We had one we released last year. It was a different design. Same verses, different design. Last year, we did not put the background behind the verses. However, the verses are the same verses because it's the Nativity story. So we're using the exact same verses. And this is how it will be every year. Just for those of you that have been around and know, each year we'll release a new design, completely new design and completely new ornament. So the ornaments last year were not this intricate. They were more of a simple ornament pattern. So we designed these in-house to have the vintage scroll. We wanted it to look like it was kind of on like a gold medallion type thing was the vision. But again, you don't have to do gold. You could do silver, you could do white, you could do purple, you could do teal, blue, whatever you're feeling. It doesn't have to be gold. I just went with the gold because that's the look I wanted for my tree. And then, like I said, you could make one every day. If you're doing this by yourself, you could make them all. And then we had ladies last year that they would hang them all on their tree with the verses. And then each day you would just turn it over on your tree. And that's your countdown. So on day one, you would turn over day one. Then you would go to day two, which is day two. You could turn, they had them all on their tree like this with all the verses. And then they would just turn them over. The other thing that we saw is, and Megan's going to be taking some pictures once I get all these done, but we saw people that had them on like a banner string and they strung them up above their stockings. So on the website, there's a picture of that from the designs from last year. So they would do it that way. So it was kind of hanging over their stockings, and then they could turn one each day as they count down. We had other people that would give their children one each day to go. So on day one, they would read the verse and then they would go hang it on the tree. We also had other people that used these as their Christmas Eve activity, where they would either make them and hang them all on the tree and go through the story as the nativity story. We had others that were making it while they were reading the nativity story, and then they could go hang them on the tree. And then we had some people that just had a specific nativity tree. It's really whatever you want to make of it. There's so many different ways that you could do it, and it's just whatever works for you and your family, and how you want to spread the gospel. Like, how many, family members do you have at your house on Christmas Eve that this could be an activity, or even on Thanksgiving? It's such a simple way to share the Christmas story without it being weird, I guess, is the theory, or the message, the meaning, Ladies, I have had this coffee sitting here all morning. I think I've had 2 sips, and it shows. Note to self. I've been running all around this morning getting ready for this. But that's how simple they are. You're just going to go through each one. I don't want this tutorial to be like super long. Again, I'll go through the box for those of you that arrived late so you can see like what the kit includes. Again, so we'll put all this out to the side. Katie says she loves the banner idea. It really is endless possibilities. She says endless possibilities. It really is. So again, this year, it's not going to come in. We have custom boxes for all of these. So they're ready for gifting. So if you're gifting it to someone, they're going to get the full box like this. You could literally put a bow on it. But even if you just wrapped it, it's like it's a beautiful like kit box. I'm just so proud of these boxes. And it has Unto Us a Child is Born verse on the back. And then this right here is their step-by-step tutorial. So we'll edit this video, but this is the exact video tutorial that they'll be getting, just step-by-step on how to do it. So they'll just scan that code. It will take them to the video tutorial. It'll tell them or you that the stuff that you need to grab that isn't in the kit. But let me show you what's inside of it here. So we have your transfers. There's 4 sheets of A4 transfers. So you get, because there's 24 days that you need to make. So they'll have the 4 sheets in there. We've already used 1 sheet, but here's the other 3 sheets. And then also the instructions are here as well. And they also get the credit card transfer tool in there as well. So the transfers will be right on top. And then I already unpacked this, so it's going to look better than this when you open it. But underneath the tissue will be the transfers. They'll be on top. Then you also have your 10 meters of your gold cording this year. Last year we heard people are like, it didn't come with any strings, so we've included the gold cording this year. And you'll get your precision transfer tool. Each kit comes with 1. And then also it will come with your 24 ornaments. We have shrink wrapped them, so there's no moving around, nothing can break. They're on this nice little heavy board here. And then of course you get your scripture sprinkle card and your sucker. So all that'll be in there. But that is basically how the kit comes. So when they open it, and we will be using the John 3:16 for this kit, because that is our main ministry verse as far as when especially for things that are gifting, so that you can gift them to people that maybe don't know the gospel or thinking about it, or God's planted a seed. But pretty much when you open it up, it's going to be like that. So that's what they will see. And it's all nice and beautiful and gorgeous. Mary says, thank you for your time to teach everything. Of course, that is what we're here. We don't want you to just buy the stuff. We want you to know how to make it. And we have so many ladies that are taking our tutorials, learning how to do it. And then they're getting groups of women together, and they are getting the supplies, and then they are teaching the women through small groups, through women's ministries, through girlfriends getting together, doing things together. So that's the whole point, like just to get you some ideas and get you started. And then you guys take it from here, whether you're crafting by yourself or you're crafting with friends and family. It's all whatever works best for you. So I'll go through the ones that we did again. So don't forget, before you put the string on, you're going to want to seal them. So I'm going to take the string off of the ones that I did seal. This one is sealed. 1 and 2 is sealed, because those are the 2 I did first. Where's 2? 1 and 2 is sealed. The rest of these are not sealed, and I don't know if the camera is good enough for you guys to be able to see like the difference in the sealed one and the not sealed one. I'm trying to get this over here. So these two are already sealed. You can see they have a little bit of shimmer to them, and this one is not sealed yet. So again, we're not doing it for the shimmering per se. We're doing it to make sure that none of this like lifts off, especially on the back. Again, this year, the verses are on top of a full design. So you're not going to have the lifting issue that we had last year or the I lost a letter issue. All of those issues should be fixed with them having on the whole graphic. So we did try to improve it this year. Hi, Miss Nona. Yeah, so we're just wrapping up. So again, seal them before you put the strings on if you're going to seal them. And then after that, you just put your strings on of your choice. So some ones we did today. This is what it would look like if you did like a yarn. Here's what it would look like if you did a jute, which I like the jute. As I was doing it, I was like, maybe I should have done jute instead of the gold cording, but I don't know. The gold cording, because I used a different color gold, it looks different, which may or may not be fine, but just things to keep in mind. The gold cording, I think those of you, I can't wait because I know a couple of you like purple is your favorite color, and I know you're going to do purple, and I can't wait to see it with the gold cording because it's probably just going to look so royal. I love it. Debbie says, I love opening your boxes. They always bring a smile to my face and a joy to my heart. Thank you. And the John 3:16 is my scripture verse when I bless anyone with a crafting gift. I love that. Rachel says she's looking forward to making them. They're so easy, you guys. So easy. So that's how simple it is. Again, the pre-orders, we're going to keep doing the pre-orders through Friday. Friday, the pre-orders will close. They will begin shipping pretty quickly. I know it says early August. I expect to have everything shipped by early August. So you're not going to be waiting on these at all. They're here. We're already packing them. We're good to go. Again, for those that arrived late for the ornament maker one, the other one, we're just waiting on the boxes. We're supposed to have them tomorrow. We've confirmed twice already this week that we'll have them in our hands tomorrow, at least enough to pack the kits that we sold. So those should begin. Those should begin shipping on Thursday. So we'll get all of them headed. I have really no doubt that we should have all of them headed by Monday for sure. So those of you that are waiting, they're coming. We're just waiting for we made a beautiful box like this. Not this. This is the purple. This one is for this kit, but it's a beautiful, looks like a gift box. And I don't want to ship them not in that box because it's gorgeous and I want that to be part of your experience. I don't want you to have some plain white box. Okay. I want you to have the full experience. And then for those of you that missed out on the ornament maker kits, as soon as we get all of those shipped out and going, we will update the inventory and we will release those to the public for everybody. That's when they'll start blowing out because we do run ads to those. So that's when they'll really start moving. And that's where we can't guarantee that we'll have them or which ones are going to sell out and all those things. Same with the Advent. As soon as all of the pre-orders are shipped, we will release the remaining that we have and they'll be available to everybody. Again, keep in mind, this particular kit, not very many people just buy one. There's a lot of 2s, 3s, 5s, 6s. They're ordering for gifts. So that is what takes our inventory. Like it just goes so quickly. And I have a lot of people that have been waiting on this. One, I have a lot of people that missed out last year and didn't get it. So I know they're like, I'm getting it this year. And then we have a lot of people that loved it so much last year. We had so many emails of people that were like, I need 5 more, I need 2 more, I need 3 more. And we're like, we don't have it. So all of those people are now going to order more this year because they weren't able to get them last year. Debbie says, such a great gift idea. Exactly. It is. I didn't expect people to be using it for that. But like I said, a lot of people were gifting these to their pastors or their pastors' wives or their women's ministry leader. I didn't expect that. I thought, families would be doing them, which they are too. But when you're talking people that are looking for ministry gifts that one time a year, I think that's what really took the stock and depleted it really quickly because they were buying multiple. Let's see. Karen says, I'm adding a sealed tea bag to each one so that I can do a 24-day of tea along with the ornament as a time to reflect. I love that idea. What a special treat to have. So she's going to put a tea bag with each one, reflect on the verse, have tea. I absolutely love that. That just gave me chills, Karen. I love it. My Life says, do you have this set available without the word pieces? No, we only just sell this set as a kit. So we only have the designs with the verses. We have not done a stained glass set before. I've been wanting to do the stained glass for a minute. I've had it saved for a while this year. Here was my thinking, just so you guys can get a little kind of insight on what goes on in the background. Well, I got to say this carefully. I know that not everyone is going to love everything. I know it. There's people that love it when we, do more modern stuff. And there's that same handful of people that absolutely hate it and will let us know that they hate it. And so every design re-release, I have to walk the fine line of what are most people going to love? And then just know I'm going to get criticism or love either way, and it's going to be fine. I absolutely love the stained glass look. I had been wanting to release like a set of that, just as for ornaments or for something. And I just didn't know how people would take it. I absolutely love it. For the Advent, I felt it was perfect. It's royal, it's classic, it's vintage. I felt like it really hit the theme that we wanted to hit this year with the Advent kit. But I also know there's probably going to be people that are like, I like last year's better. I hate this one. It's ugly. Like they'll tell me. They'll send an email and let me know that they absolutely hate it. And it's fine. I try to stay out of the email queue for exactly that reason. So the whole point being, we haven't. However, if this sells like crazy and disappears like immediately, then we will rethink the designs that we release and start incorporating more things. That's literally what we do. We kind of take a chance and let you guys decide with your wallets what you love and what you hate. We take the feedback and then we just use that to just adjust with each other design that we go forward. If I get a ton of feedback that you guys absolutely love the stained glass and you want to see more of those types of designs, absolutely, we will create more things that could work for stained glass, whether that's bigger signs or smaller signs. We want to do like window signs, which would be really pretty with the stained glass. So it all depends on you guys. So that's kind of what goes on in the background of the, everything looks like fun and happy here. But then, you always have those people. I've had people email and tell me that they got their monthly kit and threw it straight in the trash. So why they felt the need to tell me that, I have no idea. But that's the kind of the feedback we have to work with. But it all depends on how many. If it's one or two people, we're like, okay, they didn't like it. But if we get a ton of feedback, like last year we got a ton of feedback, super nice, but we got a ton of feedback of people struggling with the letters. And that's why we changed it this year and put the letters on top of some type of design to make that easier for you guys. So we do take all feedback, good and bad, and just kind of weigh it and then just adjust a little bit as we move forward. I know there's some things that we definitely won't be doing again just because we had a bunch of feedback or we saw a bunch of, people cancel their memberships. Like there's things that we see on the back end that we're like, okay, people didn't like this. So we won't do it again. The most controversial thing that we've ever released, funny sidebar, is butterflies. We have people that either absolutely love themselves some butterflies or absolutely hate butterflies. They think they're insects and they're disgusting. So that is the most polarizing design that we've released, is the butterflies. I'm still kind of traumatized about butterflies from the one lady that sent a few emails, and then I called to talk to her and she was just as pleasant on the phone. And so we're actually working on a new butterfly design because we have so many people that have requested it. But that's why it hasn't come out yet, because I'm still a little traumatized from the phone call I had with that lady over butterflies. My Life says hilarious. Oh, okay, got you. They're beautiful. You just have your own laser. Oh, okay, perfect. So we have not this particular set. And I don't know your name, sweetie, but we have our other ornament set that is just the designs without verses. That one is going to be released to the public as soon as we get the pre-order shipped out. That one has the ornament size designs in, I have it up here. Let me grab it for those of you that are new. Again, so if you've already seen this one, like it's just going to be a little bit of a repeat. But I just want to show some of the new people because I keep referencing, and you'll see plain ugly boxes. I'm not shipping these yet, guys, until we have the beautiful boxes. But this was the ones we released for the pre-order last time. This is the ornament maker kit. So you mentioned you had your own laser. So I will show you the transfers first. And again, these are all in a mess because I didn't know I was going to be grabbing these. But we have 3 different sets. Let me make sure I get them in the right. Again, I've already crafted with some of these, so I just need to get them in the right piles here. Okay, so we have 3 different sets. We have the Names of Christ set. So these are sized for 3-inch ornaments. So these are the ones that you could use if you have your laser and make your own ornaments. So this is Names of Christ. These sheets are all 3 the same, but we have them in the gold, the silver, and the black. This is the black, yeah. So that was one of the sets. You can buy that in the kit or you can buy them separately. Then we have the wreath maker kit. Oh, that is the 3rd sheet. I'm looking at them all the same. So then we have the wreath one. This is Sacred Seasons. So again, these are sized for 3-inch ornaments. So you have 2 sheets that are all the wreaths and verses, and then 1 sheet that has all the little extra things. And these are designed to mix and match and take these little things and put them over to create your own wreaths. I'll show you the ornaments here after I go through the transfers. So we have, this is the Sacred Season one, or the Sacred Season wreath maker. So that was the 2nd set. And then the 3rd set we released is the Sacred Melodies set, and that is the hymnal set. So the hymnal set has the different hymns on them. This is another thing where we got feedback last year that they wanted the name of the hymn over the hymn. Last year we just had the hymn. We didn't put the names of it on there. And so we added the names on top of it. So that's the actual hymn behind that, if you're a music person. And then we have the names of the hymn separate. These ones do not have the hymn names over them. So if you liked them without the hymns, you have some of those. Hey, and then we also, Dixie, stop. Oh my gosh, dogs. Then we also have the wording that is on the arch to go around them. And again, these are some of the hymnal lines. So dashing through the snow, the Lord has come, joy to the world, glory to the newborn King, hark the herald angels sing. So it has some of the word groupings there. And then I'll show you what we made with them. So with the kit, this kit's going to be a mess, you guys, because I wasn't obviously planning on unboxing it. But with the kit, you get 2 of each of the ornament backing. So you'll get 2 wood slices. You'll get 2 wood cutouts. You get 2 of the metal cutouts. So these are all the ones that I made. So you can see I layered the little bows and birds and stuff on top of the wreath. You'll get 2 of the clear acrylic ones, and then 2 of the white acrylic ones. And then it also comes with all of these little things that I use to decorate them with. So you'll get your jute. We also have the bubble topper. That one is up here. So I can show you. So this is the bubble topper on one of the wood ones. And then you can see I used the curved wording inside of it. And then it has the little scene back there. And it also comes with the snow, everything's in here. Again, it comes with the transfer tool. You get all the little bells, bows, embellishments, all of the things come in this one. So again, this is a mess, but here's one with the names of Christ on a transparent one. So this is the full kit. So once we get the pre-order shipped out, we will release this one again. The transfers by themselves, you guys, you can just get those now. The transfers are on the site. So if you just want, oh, you know what? I tell a fib. The transfers are not on the site. I'm waiting until I get the kit. They're not on the site, but they're going back up. So those are the ones that are already made. Yes, she said you were looking for the names of Christ and you didn't see them. Yeah, they are off the site right now until we get the boxes. And that's only because if we release just the rub-on transfers, we did them for the pre-order, but if I just release them now, what's going to happen is people are just going to see these, they're going to order these. Then they're going to see the kit like in an ad or something later, and they're going to be mad and say, if I knew there was a kit, I would have bought the whole kit. And so some of the decisions I make are to keep our customer service queue under control, because it's maddening and it's absolutely crazy, you guys. So, and I have just Camille that does them. So sometimes I have to come in there and help them. So we're just trying to keep the complaints down. So they are not on the site yet. However, as soon as those boxes are here, so if those boxes arrive Wednesday, I'm shoving all this to the site and we'll put it back up so everyone could order. So that's what's going on there. Lisa says she loves the butterflies and the dragonflies. Since her son passed in 2021, we've seen many dragonflies, both my sons in heaven. I have been in the yard and had 2 dragonflies flying circles around me when my son's children are here. It's always a dragonfly. I love that. See, I love butterflies too. I just need to get over it. It was just one lady that was like so absolutely wretched that I'm just a little scarred, but I'm gonna move past it because I saw butterflies are trending again too. So I think it's just her, and she's not a member anymore, so it's fine. So we're gonna come. Usually we do the butterflies, just so you guys know. Usually we do the butterfly theme, and I think this is why I was bummed too. We do it in December. It's always like versus like we've done all things new. It's always that's the month that we always do like renewal, rebirth, you know, like newness, because it's a new year, it's a new season, so we usually use butterflies for the month of December. So I already have it in there as we're doing something butterfly for the month of December. So it's coming again. So if that lady's watching, brace yourself. Mary says, don't let anyone steal your joy. I know. And I know it's not her. I know it's the enemy. And so that's what I really have to focus on whenever people complain or upset or not nice. It's not them, it's the enemy working through them. And really, I just need to pray for them. But in the moment, I just get so mad and hurt. But I'm doing better. God's growing me. You know what happens if you can't learn the lesson? You're going to keep getting the lesson until you learn it, right? So I got to learn it. I'm getting much better. But yeah, butterflies are coming back. We will have them. But these are so fun. So again, just give me like another week. My Life Matters. I'm not sure your name. And we will have all of this will be on the site and it'll be available to you. So also those, I know Katie mentioned you missed out. If you don't get the Advent in the pre-order, again, we're going to release them on the site. So they'll be available everywhere. They are coming. We're just doing the pre-order to make sure those that knew they wanted them and didn't get them and wanted to pre-order had that option. And again, it also gives us an idea of how many we need to order, because we still have time, it being this early, especially for these kits. This was the one that these transfers in this kit was what blew us up last year in August. We did more volume. I mean, it ramped up from August to October, but we did more volume in October of last year than we did all of the year before. We did all of the year before in 1 month. Like, these are so popular. So we just want to give our existing members, followers, customers, fans the opportunity to get them first before we run ads and try and reach new people and all that stuff. So that's why we did the pre-orders and we're doing it this way. So we're trying to take care of everybody, doing the best that we can. But we still have a few months. So depending on how sales go and everything, there may be things we can get more of, but there may be things we can't. And so I just trying to ride that fine line. So it is a lot. Lori says she loves the butterflies. She also loves our kids. Love them. You do you. Amazing. Yeah. I know it's not necessarily me do me, but it's me and God, and I need to, I do go to him with everything and all the ideas and all the verses and the things that we put out. And sometimes God gives us clear direction, and I think sometimes God is like, it's not going to matter, Melanie, like, do what you feel led to do if your heart's in the right place. Like, if he doesn't tell us every single verse, but there are definitely things that we've created or put on the board to decide. And it's been a definite, like, no, we're not going that direction. Like, we felt it. So we do put everything before him. But sometimes I think he just lets us, it doesn't matter. And I think the butterflies are one of those things. God created the butterflies. I think they're gorgeous. Moss I know it's just a butterfly, not as pretty. I'm not a fan of moss. We won't be doing any moss designs, but that's just me personally. So we do a little. But that's it for today. This one a little bit longer, but I did want to show those that missed out on these ones that this one is going to be available. Just give us another week to get those gorgeous boxes in. When you see them, you're going to freak out. Again, we made them. They're going to be beautiful and colorful like these ones. Totally different design. It looks like a gift. It has like a big bow right here, and it looks like you have ribbon wrapping it. It's so pretty. And it's like reds and yellows and greens. So that'll be that. And then we also have another beautiful box for those of you who've been around. The Rock Maker kit. I call it the Rock Maker kit. It's the Scripture Sprinkle Stones kit where you make the little rocks. We have new people, so I'm just going to show you real quick. Where you make the little rocks, like kindness rocks, but with scripture. So these are all layered. Like you get the little background pieces, then you get the verse, and then you get the little flowers and stuff and all different kinds to put on top. So this kit has taken off. It is our #1 bestseller. It's on back order right now till the 25th. We're waiting for those to come in too. We have beautiful boxes for these now. So for those of you that are looking for or thinking about Christmas gifts for your grandkids, if you didn't already do them with your grandkids, or if you have other people or neighbors that you're looking for gifts for, we have completely branded, we call it branded boxes, but we've completely designed really pretty boxes. So when you get this kit, here's another one that we did. My son did this one. When you get this kit now, it's in a giftable box. And so we have those coming as well. This is another little one. And we also, the rocks aren't going to be all over the place. Like these are all different sizes. We have, it's not a rock manufacturer because they don't make the rocks, but we have a company we buy the rocks from now where they're all about this size and they're all nice and flat and they all come packaged really well together. So that kit is going to, it's just going to be more giftable for Christmas. It's not going to, right now we're sending them with stickers and stuff, which is the best that we could do because we're growing, is the best we could do at the time. So it's just a white box with a sticker, but those pretty boxes are coming in. So that will be another opportunity if you, here's one. This shells don't come with it, but it's just another idea of what you could do with those transfers. That's going to be available for Christmas too for gifting. So those of you that are thinking about gifts for kids or littles or friends, they're going to be really beautiful boxes too that you can gift, and it'll just look really professional and beautiful. So we want you guys to have the best experience when you're gifting as well. We did not expect when I first started all this that there would be so many people buying the kits for gifting. And so we've just kind of had to pivot and grow along the way so that we can make that experience better for you guys as well. So we're working on that. Let's see. Do those come as an option without the rocks too? Yes, the transfers do. Those, they're on back order. The transfers are on back order too. It's called the Scripture Sprinkle Set. And I will show you. I know, again, this is what I'm here for, to answer questions and stuff too. So on the lives, you guys don't worry about asking questions. I'm not sure I have a full set in here, but I have like the partial set. So the first set, the first page is, and you can tell I've used a ton of these. The first page is all just verses. So these are different cutouts from the first page. The second page is all of the background banners. And then the third page is all of the little accents that you can add to the top, to the bottom, and all the different places. So that set's called the Scripture Sprinkle Set. Again, it's on the site. It's back ordered. It says on there that we're shipping the 25th. We should have them before the 25th, but I just pushed that date out there in case for some reason it gets stuck or whatever. They're already on their way here. In fact, we were checking again this morning to see if they'd made it to the port yet. The ship was supposed to arrive 2 days ago in port, and then it has to make it through customs, and then they get to us. So we're in the next 5 to 9 days. We should have them, and then we'll ship right away. So yeah, you can buy those without the rocks. The only transfers that we have that you can't buy individually are the ones that we used in the Advent kit. All of the other transfers, you can buy them individually if we have them still on the site. So that is that. Teresa says honkers. Teresa loves the honker rocks. I actually had this crazy, Teresa, so funny story. When we were trying to find a rock, I don't know if it's a rock vendor. We were actually going to getting samples from different quarries, like all over the United States, and they were coming in these UPS boxes. And so I did a couple of videos, or at least one video I know that she commented on, where I was showing the rocks, and they were all like these giant garden rocks. And I was like, at that time we didn't have flat rate shipping. You paid by the weight of the kit. So I was like, there's no way people are going to want to pay $15 to ship this box of rocks. So I did the video or whatever, and Teresa was like, look at that honker. So we saved that rock and we shipped it to her in her membership because she loves the big rocks. So funny. No, Teresa, no more big bonkers. Okay, what do you seal the rocks with? That's a great question. So a couple of things. It's in the tutorial, but I like to seal them with the same Eileen's, but this is the gloss. And the link I have that will be in the tutorial is actually Amazon sells these as a set, and it's cheaper to buy them as a set. So you get the matte and the gloss. I just did that because I'm using one or the other. So I use the gloss for rocks, glass, anything that's supposed to be shiny, I use the gloss finish for. So with the rocks, you know, in the tutorial, I'll tell you everything. But you would want to prime them first with some type of flat paint. You can use acrylic, you can use chalk. This is chalk. I think this one is actually acrylic. Like, you can't even really tell the difference. So that is it for today. I'll be back next Tuesday with another fun crafting thing. I know I have written down what I'm doing it, but as usual, I can't remember what it is. But every Tuesday I go live at 12 p.m. Pacific, and we do another fun project. So until then, happy crafting.